Hello everyone, Ron here from L.T.L Tutoring Central, and this time around I'm talking about time management, specifically for students, but some of the tips might help others as well. There will also be a blog on this topic. You might want to go check that out. There'll be a little bit more detail in the blog, and also everyone learns differently, some more through the auditory, so that's the video, some through visual, so that would be the blog. Of course, checking them both out would be an excellent idea. I'm just going to be mostly touching on the highlights here in the video, however. Before we get started, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much to those of you who've taken a moment to push that button. It really does help the channel a lot. Don't forget there are links in the description that you can check out to my books, for example, but also if you want to take one of my Udemy courses, make sure to send me a message so I can send you a coupon for a huge savings on those. You don't want to pay the full price. They do have sales on often, and that's fine. But if they don't, or if you want to check if I can get you an even more reasonable coupon, just send me a note. Also, if you want to learn more about my private tutoring service that I do in person, if you're in this area at the big table behind me, but I also do online, so it doesn't matter where you are in the world, as long as you have a connection, we can work together online. All right, let's have a list. Let's have a look at time management for students. The first thing I want to mention is to set goals. And remember that goals are not dreams or wishes. They should be something that you can actually achieve. And some people follow the sort of mnemonic SMART, S-M-A-R-T, and I'm going to go through each one of those. So when you're setting goals, be specific. Make the goal clear and precise instead of simply writing, uh, do the essay or do these questions. Specify the question, specify the time, etc., so that you know exactly what you're doing. Be specific. The M is for measurable. Make sure that you can track your progress, that you know that you are achieving your goals. You need to know when you've succeeded. So make it measurable. Also, I already kind of mentioned this, make them achievable. Goals should be something that you can achieve, especially in this context. We're not talking about the huge goal that maybe is for 10 years. We're talking about something more current. So make sure that they are achievable goals. There's no sense saying I'm going to read the novel tonight and write the essay and do 10 science questions, and when you know that's not going to happen. The R is for relevant. Your goals should align with your academic priorities. So make sure that you are aiming for the kinds of things that you actually need and that will actually get you to the next goal, to the next step. So make sure that your goals are relevant and time bound. Give yourself a deadline. I kind of mentioned that as well. Be specific on the date and the timeline. So that's the SMART or SMART. Create a schedule. This is very, very important to create a schedule that, again, is fairly specific. Make sure that you include times for your breaks, times for hobbies, etc. Also break large assignments into smaller tasks so that you can know when you will do each step and block off time creating specific time slots for specific tasks. I'm tripping over my words here. So yes, always think not only about the final product, if you have to write a book report or an essay, but also how will you get there? When will you do your research? When will you do your first draft? When will you do your proofreading and editing, and try to schedule that in as much as you can as well. And that can be very, very helpful in achieving your goals and not suddenly recognizing that tomorrow or just after the weekend, everything is coming due and you haven't got half the work done yet. So a schedule can help you to get there. I know a lot of people think, oh, it's such a waste of time. If I don't do the schedule, then I'll save time and I can spend more time on other things. Yes, but you'll probably forget things. Everything gets lost in the shuffle. And also, you're not as focused when you have a schedule and you know you're doing this and you have specific times. It really does help you to zero in and you surprisingly get things done quicker. It actually will save you time in the long run. If you take a little bit of time up front, always do the legwork. I keep telling people this. It is very, very important. The quality of the work is better, and you actually will save yourself time. Might not seem like it, but you will. Use tools to assist you, and I don't know all of these tools. I just had a look to see what's available, and there's lots and lots more available. But digital calendars such as Google Calendar, Apple Calendar, Skylight Calendar, and there's many more, I'm sure. I don't actually use those. I'm old-fashioned, and although I use tech for many things, I use a day timer and I do a to-do list on paper in books. And I tried using, I think it was Google Calendar some time ago. Didn't really work for me because my book I can always have with me, whereas I didn't always have a device with me where I could get in quickly and check. And if I needed to change things, I find it much easier for me personally to do it in the book rather than on a calendar. But that's up to you. Use what works for you. Keeping a daily to-do list is very, very helpful. I do that as well, but again, I usually use a paper or I sometimes use sticky notes. I was looking for one that I have here, but I only have my little sticky note here. I wouldn't use that for my to-do list. I have larger ones, and I jot things down as I think of them. And that, again, that way I don't have to go and get my device or get into my phone. I just jot it right. It's right beside me most of the time back here at the big table. Uh, but again, yeah, I use that. But there are apps such as Todoist, ClickUp, Monday.com, etc. So you can find apps for that. Time tracking apps are available as well to help you stay focused, such as Forest app and Toggle, Toggl. You can find all these on the blog, as I mentioned before. And there are many more, I'm sure. Again, it might take a little bit of time to sort of find the one that works for you, but I'm sure it's well worth it once you get used to doing it. Or you can do what I do and use books and paper. Make sure you have them available though. Build healthy study habits. So, so important. You might not think this is part of time management, but it really is. Avoiding procrastination is essential. A lot of people like to put things off till tomorrow, 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 and tomorrow never seems to come. And then all of a sudden there it is and everything is due. So try not to procrastinate. Do If you can do it today, do it today. Don't leave it for tomorrow. There are some things we'll have to wait because you might be waiting on other people if you're working in a group, or you might need to do the research, so you can't do everything in one day, but don't procrastinate. Avoid so-called multitasking, and I say so-called because there really isn't any such thing. There is colloquially sort of when we're doing many things at once, and believe me, I'm often doing many things at once in a way, but the truth is that your brain is turning on, turning off, turning on, turning off. So every time you switch, there's a switch here, and so it isn't really doing them both at the same time. You're just forcing it to keep switching on and off all the time. And again, the quality of the work generally diminishes and your memory diminishes, and it usually takes longer. If you focus on one thing as much as possible, it will actually save you time in the long run, and you will remember what you're studying a lot more as well. Learn to say no. So if you already have a lot of things on your uh, schedule. If you have maybe already too many things, you might have to cut back on some things. But definitely say no to a new project, or maybe somebody wants to go to a game of some sort or something else is happening. It's okay to say no. Or they want you to plan something, it's okay to say no. You can do it kindly and just explain that you have already so many things to do and you want to make sure that each one gets your full attention. And if you were to take on this project, you would want to give it your full attention, and you know that you really can't right now. So people will understand that. Maintain a tidy and efficient study space or learning space. It doesn't have to be fancy. It can just be a corner in a room where you have set up a table or a desk and a good lighting and a good chair, comfortable, but not so comfortable you fall asleep, that kind of thing. I've done videos and blogs on this before of how to set up a study space. It doesn't have to be fancy, but it does help to have all of your essentials there. So whatever you normally need for studying, pens, pencils, rulers, calculators, paper, scrap paper, etc. Have it all there so that you're not wandering around trying to find this and then you sit down and, oh, I need this, I go wander again. It's a good way of procrastinating, but it's not a good way of getting your studying done. So some people kind of like doing it the other way because they're constantly getting breaks by going and looking for a stapler or looking for some scrap paper to do a math calculation. But try to have everything in one place. Occasionally you won't, but for the most part, that really helps. And if it's a pleasant area that you enjoy being in, so it might just take, a little house plant or a favorite picture or whatever. That helps too, because then you'll want to spend some time there. Make sure that you're getting the proper rest. You need sleep. We all need some sleep. So make sure you're getting that. Our brain works much, much better if it's well rested. Also, you want to get some moderate exercise. You don't have to train like an Olympic champion, but getting some moderate exercise helps to get the oxygen flowing through our blood. Again, the brain is part of our body. We sometimes think it's separate, but it's actually organic. It's part of us. And so it needs these things. It needs rest. It needs some exercise to get that oxygen into the brain. And also you need good nutrition. Make sure you're eating, as healthy as you can and ensure that you're eating, smaller meals more frequently rather than just one large meal a day, for example, because then your sugar levels will stay relatively the same. You won't have these huge peaks and crashes at least, and that will help you to keep learning and also feel better physically. So if you're feeling good physically, then you will do much better mentally as well. And also, don't panic. You don't have to do everything at once. You don't, and by that I mean in general, but also in terms of time management. You don't have to try all of these things at one time. Just start introducing them if you don't already have some of them. I'm sure you already do or you already have, but you can introduce some that you haven't been using, slowly, one at a time. Test it out, see if Google Calendar works for you, see if you can set up your study space and make it pleasant and interesting to work in, you know, but you don't have to do everything at once. You don't have to put more stress and pressure on yourself, which will probably be totally counterproductive anyway. All right, that's just a few tips for time management to help you get started. Be sure to check out the blog. There'll be a link down below. And also there's links down there to my books and other things if you like. If you want to know more about my private tutoring service, which I can do if you're anywhere in the world, as long as you have a connection, we can get together. We can work online on Zoom. We can work on whiteboards. We have lots of different exercises that we can do. It's almost like being in person. Of course, if you're local, we can do it in person back here. I also offer a free information meeting. We can do that online or in person if you're local as well. Uh, and that is just a meet and greet. We get together, we talk about what your needs are, whether or not I am able to supply those needs for you. And it's just a nice, friendly, free meeting where we get to know each other and see if it's going to work, because it's a benefit to you if you know, or at least you feel confident that it will work. And it's a benefit to me too. So that's why it's worthwhile doing. All right. Other than that, just keep learning, keep having fun. It is Ron from L.T.L Tutoring Central. Until next time, bye bye for now.